Hey everybody, it's Chevy, Nobody Else's Auto. We're out checking some things out in the new yard, and right now I'm sitting in the remains of a 1940 Chevrolet two-door sedan. So what are we doing sitting in this 1940 Chevy? There's an aftermarket accessory in this car that I want to point out to you that is a really unique feature. The dash is gone out of this car, but if you remember back in the day, most vehicles did not have a heater, believe it or not. You did not get a heater standard when you bought a car. It was an option. You had to order the heater, pay extra to get a heater. Sounds kind of crazy in today's world, but that's the way it was. Inside sun visors, outside sun visors, rear view mirrors, all the things that we think of as just totally normal today were all accessories back in the day. Heaters being one of them. They didn't even know what, couldn't even think about air conditioning at the time, but a heater was even optional. So what happened because of that is a lot of aftermarket companies made these pieces, and they were available through what your local Western auto store, things like that. You know, that's where we see the Fulton outside sun visors, all the accessory rear view mirrors we've seen from back in the day, the rocket ship shaped mirrors, things like that. And a very popular one was aftermarket underdash heaters, because most vehicles didn't have them. We're sitting in this 1940 Chevrolet today to show you one of those heaters. This one right here is an aftermarket unit mounted to the firewall. Your dash would have been right here. That's why I chose this one. The dash is out of it. We can see it very, very clearly. Basically bolted right to the firewall, under where your dash had been, in front of, right in front of the passenger, because that was really about the only way to put it and get heat into the vehicle. Now, what's so unique about the Southwind version of these underdash heaters is most of the underdash heaters back in the day operated the same way a vehicle's heater does today. It runs engine coolant through a heater core, and a fan and motor blows air over the heater core and blows the heat off the core as it's cycling engine coolant through there. And a lot of the underdash heaters back in the day did that. These Southwinds were a little unique. These ran on gasoline. Yep, you were pouring gasoline into a heater inside of your car to burn it and generate heat. And that's how you heated your car. So, another interesting thing about this 40 Chevy that we're going to show you here in a second is how it's still, because this one is actually still hooked up. So we see how the heater unit was mounted here inside the car, where you could get heat into the passenger compartment. Now we're going to go outside because the front end's off the car and we got a real good view of it. If we look at the firewall over here on the passenger side, we can see where the heater's mounted and see where the fittings are at and the lines that are hooked to it. Now, if we follow these two lines, look where they go, right to the carburetor, right to the fuel system. So that's literally how those heaters operated and functioned. So it's kind of crazy to think about in today's world. Obviously, running engine coolant through a core and blowing air over it has worked great for years. This was somebody else's idea. These were very popular heaters. We see them on a very regular basis in a lot of these old cars. They were sold tons and tons of these in the aftermarket back in the day, and a lot of people used them. And I assume they were fairly safe. It sounds kind of crazy, but I haven't heard a lot of stories from guys from years past that had problems with them. So I'm guessing they worked. I don't think it's anything I would want to run today in a vehicle I was driving. But back then, I guess when you had nothing and you had no heater, it was a pretty good plan. So kind of a unique feature. Just thought we'd bring you a quick little snippet. And since this one was, we could see it with the dash out and we could see how the plumbing ran literally straight to the carburetor, straight to the fuel system. It was a good example and something we could really show you how these were set up. I've never installed one. I've never tried to make one work. I don't know all the mechanics of how the flow went and how they actually function, but that's what they did and that's how they did it. So as always, thanks for watching. Appreciate you stopping by, checking this video out. If you're on Facebook, please share the video with your friends. Invite them to come hang out and like the page. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. Check out all my other old car videos. It's all old cars, trucks, automobile. That's what we do on here. As always, if you've got any questions about vehicles or parts, just give me a shout. 620-786-4428. That number's on the page. Having that short conversation about your vehicle, make, model, body style, year, where you're going with your build, parts you need, things like that. That's the information I need to know if I've got anything here that can help you out. So hope you enjoyed this little snippet on the Southwind heater. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me tonight and checking it out, and we'll see you soon on the next video.